Almost half of the victims of the earthquake in Haiti were under the age of 18, which means about 500,000 children were cast into the streets, into crowded orphanages, or makeshift camps. This past winter, in the aftermath of the quake, we spent 6 weeks around Port-au-Prince with an American charity called the Global Orphan Project. We found Moise Vival and Joe Knittig of the Global Orphan Project as they rushed food and tents to desperate orphanages.
One of them, when we showed up the first time, had 1 cup of flour, and the children were asking their pastor, the caretaker, whether they were going to die.
They had 1 container of flour for how many?
Not a container, a cup.
At this children's home, when the quake hit, the kids just happened to be in a prayer service under this mango tree. Their building crumbled. Global Orphan discovered the children.
We're really excited to have you come with us.
Loaded up the survivors and checked them into an emergency camp that it set up outside the capital. Moise Vival is Global Orphan's country director and a Haitian pastor. While he was helping hundreds of orphans, we learned that he was also looking for his own missing son. 8-year-old Jean-Marc didn't come home from school after the quake.
Jean-Marc is a lovely chap, a charming guy. Anybody who meets him, man or woman, you'll fall in love with him.
You did something that I think is quite remarkable. You came back to work.
We were looking for one, but there were hundreds here that took care for.
You were looking for one, your son,
My son.
but there were hundreds here to care for. Vival didn't know whether his boy was dead, injured, or lost. 10 weeks after the quake, we went back to Jean-Marc's school. They had brought in heavy equipment and were digging through the rubble. It was then that Moise Vival was pulled away from his work at the Orphan Project by a call from the workers at the site. They had found a book bag that belonged to Jean-Marc. And not long after, his weeks of wandering came to an end. A few days later, he brought his family to his own church for the funeral service of Jean-Marc. He told us the moment was a grace from God, a blessing that he was able to bury his boy in a time when so many others do not know the fate of their children.